Here we perform exploratory data analysis on dataset SampleSuperstore. So in this SampleSuperstore.csv data file, there are many columns stating ship mode, segment, country, city, state, postal code, region, category, subcategory, sales, quantity, discount and profit. These are the column names in the dataset. So we come back to the task. So as a business manager, we need to find out the weak areas where we can work to make profit, and what are all the problems we can derive by exploring the data. So what we are going to do is we are going to import the necessary libraries as shown over here, and in the next step we are going to load the data from the path. After loading the data, we are displaying the data over here. So you can see the ship mode, segment, country, city, state, postal code, region, category, subcategory, sales, quantity, discount and profit. These are the attributes of the dataset. This dataset has 9,994 rows and 13 columns. So now we are going to check the first 5 rows of the dataset. So we are going to display by myData.head 5. So this is going to display the first 5 rows of the dataset, and myData.tail 5 will display the last 5 rows of the dataset. Now we are going to do the exploratory data analysis of the dataset. So this myData.info will display the information about the dataset. This is the column name, and this is the data type, and this is the information of the dataset. And display myData.shape will display the shape of the dataset. This is the number of rows, and that is the number of columns. So myData.columns will display the columns of the dataset. myData.dtypes will display the type of the data type of each attribute. So this is object, so this is object, and so on. So over here we are checking for any null values in the columns and the duplicate values. So we are checking if it's null, and we are going to sum all those attributes which are having some null values or duplicate values. In the next step we are checking if there is duplicate data. So there are 17 duplicate data. So we are deleting the duplicates if any. So we are deleting by drop duplicates, and in place is equal to true. And in the next line now we are going to find out if any duplicates is left in the file. So if we execute this command, it displays 0, so there is no duplicate left. Now we are displaying the unique by unique function. So we are displaying the unique function in each column. In the next step we are dropping any relevant columns, like we have postal code in the sample. So we are going to drop postal code and access in place true. So after dropping we are going to display my data, and you can see that the postal code over here is not present. So here you can see that it was 13 columns, so it became 12 columns. To check first 5 rows of the dataset, so myData.head will display the first 5 rows of the dataset. Now in the dataset itself we are finding the correlation between the attributes. So correlation can be seen by using a correlation function between sales, quantity, discount and profit. So data visualization, using this pair plot function, we are going to pair plot the attributes of the dataset my data. So here we can see the pair plotting of attribute sales, or here using different segments of customers, corporate and home office. This can be distributed in the area of the graph. Here this row is the sales, and the next row is the quantity, difference between the segments, and this is the discount distribution of the segments, and this is the profit distribution of the segments. Now we are going to plot against various attributes. So we are going to plot a category versus subcategory, and here you can see that while plotting against category versus subcategory, we can see different subcategories listed here and categories, and how it varies with respect to each other. In the next step, we are visualizing the correlation between the attributes. So this is the heat map which shows the correlation, and here 1 represents the positive correlation, and minus 2 represents a negative correlation over here. So you can see the correlation between the attributes. So we are going to plot each attribute. So if we take each category against the count, like number of like here sales, here the office supplies category has more sales, here consumer has more sales, here in the ship mode there is standard class having more sales, in region west region is having more sales. So this can be seen in this count plot. So here going to count plot state-wise shipments. So the count of state-wise shipments can be seen over here. So here we can see California having highest state-wise shipment, followed by New York, and then so on, and the least is West Virginia. So here going to plot state versus profit. So here we can see that California and New York is having the highest, and then Texas and Ohio are having the lowest. That's negative profit, that's loss. And then we are going to count the subcategory. So if we go plot the subcategory graph, we are going to get the category binders having more number of sales, followed by paper, followed by furnishings, and so on. So the least over here is copiers. Discount versus profit. So now we are going to plot graph between profit and discount. So we can see that initially there is more profit, and as the discount increases there is a drop in the discount, and then there is a little rise, and then and so on. So then we are going to plot graph again sales versus discount. So here you can see that initially there is little 250 sales, and then as the discount increases there is fluctuation, there is a rise in the sales, and then there is a dip in the sales, and then it decreases gradually. And then here the count of ship mode by region, we are going to count the ship mode by region. So you can see that west ship region has a more number of count over here, and then which is followed by east region, and then center, and then at the last is south. So using this analysis, we can conclude that the product sales increase with the increase in discount, but profit decreases. So in all the following conclusions that we have made, we can see that city states which give more discounts on product shows more sales but very less profit. West region shows more sales and more profit, whereas south region shows least sales and profits. So we should try to increase the sales and profit in south region. As you can see over here is south region. And then We should limit the discount on the standard class shipment and try to increase its sales and profit. So since the standard class has more shipment, we should increase on its sales and profit. Category shows more profits, so we should increase its sales and reduce the sales for furniture due to its low profit. So the copier subcategory shows more profit as shown above. The table shows least profit, so we should reduce its sales and increase the sales for subcategories like accessories and phones. The states showing high profit ratios are California and New York, whereas the states showing the least profit ratios are Texas and Ohio, as is seen in the graph, which is high over here and then it decreases negatively as shown above. The cities showing high profit ratios as New York and Los Angeles. In the graph we saw that both the cities are having high profit and the least profit is Philadelphia and Houston. So we can conclude these points.